So, game 1 of the NBA Finals. I also went to see Across the Spider-Verse. So, what a great day this was, man. God damn. Let us digest this NBA Finals game and go watch Across the Spider-Verse. It's special. And as is Jokić. Jokić was absolutely incredible. The guy is just special. He had a triple-double. Dominated the game in every way possible. And I loved how they set the tone early on the first play even, essentially, where you can just see everything he is about. He sets the beautiful screen to create a wide open look for Jamal Murray, who was cooking for the first 3 quarters in large part due to how great those pick and rolls are with Jokić and how much space he creates for him. But do not mix this with me discrediting Jamal Murray. He has been sensational. He has been making unbelievable shots all playoffs long, and his success is not just because of Jokić. It for sure does help to have such an unselfish superstar teammate. I also loved seeing Aaron Gordon set the tone early, going to abuse the mismatches where he had Gabe Vincent on him, and they paid for it, man. They played Jokić for the pass, tried to double team him, and they paid for it big time as Aaron Gordon essentially was looking like Shaq out there in the first half. Then we have Michael Porter Jr., who also really impressed, especially on defense, and that is with the early blocks, playing his tail off. He was great using his length and bothering shooters, contesting really well, and he looked good out there, man. And it is so great to see him, play like this, move like this, considering the back surgery he went through and having to sit out a year. It's just remarkable. Then off the bench you had Bruce Brown, who was also great. Christian Brown brought some good tone into the game with his defense, and Jeff Green was the zone buster for Denver in the second quarter, which was intriguing. If you're Miami, you take Jeff Green shooting 10 times out of 10 times, but he made some tough shots tonight. And for Miami, this might be the lengthiest team they have faced all playoffs. I know they played Milwaukee, but the length Denver possesses in almost every position, and the athleticism there is just special. And for sure what makes Denver even more special and not the same as Milwaukee is the ball movement. They are one of the best ball moving, I don't know how to call it, teams in the league, and it just works so well against this Miami team and its zone, which we'll talk about a little bit later, as I also want to point out the first rotations in this, the first substitutions in this game, where you had Cody Zeller check in, which NBA Twitter had a field day with that. I laughed at some of those, of course. Duncan Robinson, who did not have a good night. He could not make shots that he was making all playoffs long, and Kyle Lowry, who was great in those high pick and rolls in the fourth quarter, and you're gonna need the Miami Heat to do that as much as possible and to knock those shots down as they were playing drop. The first zone that Miami threw was at the start of the second quarter with no Jokić on the floor. Then they went to it also in the fourth quarter where Jokić was on the floor, which was interesting to see, but hey, they had nothing to lose in that fourth quarter where they were down 20 heading into it, so it made sense to just try it. But I really understood it, why it was firstly tried when there was no Jokić, as he is the ultimate zone buster when you think about it. And the zone then worked fairly well when Miami made that late push in the fourth quarter, but it was more about Denver creating great looks or good looks that they missed than Miami's defense to me in and of itself. And the Nuggets did seem more and more comfortable against it as the time went on. And Jokić, of course, was sensational in that fourth quarter. He made every shot you needed him to make, so that was great. Miami also, of course, did look a little bit tired as well. They played game 7, of course. They played a lot of games. Then they had to go to Denver to that altitude, so it played a factor in and of itself, and you can see it in every game 1 they played, essentially, the Denver Nuggets, that is. And probably the most miscommunications I have seen from this Miami Heat team all playoffs long. What did look right was those pick and rolls for Miami that involved Bam, as he was knocking down his mid-range shots. Not sure if ultimately when you're Denver you're not, truly okay with that, because the level of consistency Bam has shown these playoffs doesn't make you feel like he'll be able to knock down this many shots every game, and even if he does, it doesn't really beat you that badly, I would say. So there's that, and you also just need Jimmy Butler to be more aggressive. He did not look like he brought appropriate energy in this game and like he was playing in the NBA Finals. Just not many shot attempts. He was not aggressive heading to the basket. He basically did not attack the basket, and he didn't even look for his shot, for his mid-range in those pick and rolls against Jokić, where it appeared like those positions he put himself in against the Bucks, where he torched them from those spots. The one thing everyone will be talking about for Miami was Haywood. Haywood Highsmith, who was great, and he needs to play more, I would say, and he was great on offense, as he played the role of a cutter or a shooter from the corner. He was great in that role of those Jimmy Bam pick and rolls, those Bam pick and rolls. And he also looked really good on Jamal Murray defensively, picking him up full court, which I even talked about in the preview, and I was happy to see that in the second half. Bam, as well as he played, also avoided contact, weirdly enough. So there's that, I suppose. I would expect Miami to be way more aggressive, heading towards contact, to getting to the free throw, to get to the free throw line a little more. Everyone else chucked three-pointers, which did not work, as Struz was bad, Martin was bad shooting the ball. Nobody shot that well, really. And besides Kyle Lowry, I would say. To be fair, that has been Miami all playoffs long, and they just didn't shoot as well as they have been shooting all playoffs long, which I don't expect to last. And I think this is going to be a really competitive series. With that said, we'll do some Game 2 preview probably, and can't wait for Game 2, man. Monday, I will do a preview, then I'll go to watch Spider-Verse again, because it was that awesome, I suppose. Your thoughts on Game 1? Let me know in the comment section. Who would you like to see win these finals? I don't know. Tell me anything you want. To be quite honest with you, if you want to tell me about how you loved Spider-Verse just as me, be sure to do that. Like and subscribe. Love and peace.